Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here of businesswithtrading.com, doing a trading strategy recap for the 5th of August, Wednesday. And today was an interesting day and a pretty monotonous day. Price did gap up pretty well, and after a little move up in early morning, around mid-morning to afternoon, it just got very ugly, which it basically did absolutely nothing. And then it started to roll over. That was pretty interesting. We did miss this short. We tried to get short right in here. Obviously, we didn't do it. Price did come back up. Still didn't come up to our order. And it did sell off and get pretty ugly. It kind of did what we were talking about. We had a couple different scenarios going into the close. Whenever we close the room, we always talk about what we're seeing going forward and the most likely scenarios. So that way, sometimes there are some really good trades in the afternoon, sometimes they're not. But we still talk about things because having a market game plan is very important. We go over that in detail, granular detail in the trading courses and whenever I coach clients. But in the trading room, we kind of go over it a little bit just so that way we're all on the same page. If I'm looking to get short, everybody knows it. If I'm looking to get long, everybody knows it. I like to move quick but act slowly, if that even makes sense. But that's my philosophy, is less is more. We made one trade today. We've made, I think, a maximum of 2 trades in the trading room since August has begun. So this is the 3rd trading day in August. So I like to think and wait on setups to occur, and then once they happen, I throw the order out there and it gets filled or it doesn't get filled. That's the way it works. We did not get filled on this short. It is what it is. Yeah, it would have worked out, but we don't think that way. If the order doesn't get filled, it doesn't matter because we were never in the trade to begin with. So, it's part of doing business. The trade we did get in today, we'll talk about that because that's the only thing that really matters, I think, is we took a long and we were in right in 1/2. So on this gray candle here, it's kind of like a doji, so it shows up, almost the same color as the background. I probably need to change these colors and settings, but I haven't yet. But we got in right here around 1/2 and we got out right up in here. So it was a very quick trade. As you can see, price did come up a little bit more and then it just went sideways. Missed that short. That would have turned out to be really great. But that's all part of the game, like I said. If you miss a trade, it doesn't matter. If you lose money on a trade, yeah, that matters. Because, where was your stop at? Were you risking too much? And I see a lot of new traders and some so-called education companies that preach, taking more risk than you should take. Some people out there say you should never day trade because they can't do it. If they can't do it, there's really no reason they're around. I think if you can trade one market, you can trade any market. Now, granted, you're going to be better at certain markets than other markets, but you should be able to trade any market. If you can trade, you can trade. If you can't trade, you can't trade. That's the bottom line. And it sounds like something Stone Cold Steve Austin would have said if you remember wrestling from back in that time period. I used to like we used to quote wrestlers when I was younger, quote movie actors. I don't know, that's something my friends and I do. It's fun, but that's going off topic a little bit. But that's what we like to look at is, wait on your setup, take your setup, and there's really no reason why, we should not be able to trade other markets. In the E-mini trading room, we focus on the ES, and we do that for a very important reason. whenever you start out trading, whenever you're new to the market, you should not be trading 5 different markets. It just doesn't make sense. And we know from a psychological standpoint that the human brain can only focus on a finite amount of information at any one time. As obviously it's called your conscious mind. It's the part of your brain that you use to forcefully do things. Like if I want to pick up the mouse right now, I think about picking up that mouse and I pick it up with my hand. But I'm thinking that. It's not like I'm just sitting there talking to somebody and I just pick up a mouse for no reason at all because my unconscious mind tells me to pick up that mouse. Why? So in saying that, I can only think about a finite amount of information until my brain gets overloaded. And this happens to everybody in the world. It doesn't matter who you are or how much training you have. You can only think about a finite amount of information at any one time. Therefore, trading 10, 12 markets or even 5 markets and looking at a few different things on each market, you're going to get overwhelmed. So that's why I teach, one market, learn it, trade it, and then once you master that system, once you master the methodology I have, you can branch out and trade other things. Because you'll know all the steps, and you'll be able to take those steps, and you can set yourself up for success. That's one thing we go over in the momentum trading course, because that's our swing trading course, and we talk about how to do analysis and all of that, before your trading begins, because that way, when you sit down, you're pretty much ready. You don't have to think about stuff. You don't have to think about where your entry's at, or, different things that you should not have to think about. As having a job. Let's say you sell things for a living. Well, it's easier if you sit down and you already have your list of people to call to make that sell, than if you just sat down and you're running through a book, maybe a phone book. I'm going to take this old school. Like if you're running through a phone book and you're looking at names and you call each one out of there, it's easier if you just have a list of things to do. I'm going to call this person, this person, this person, and you cross it off your list. If you saw the Pursuit of Happiness, I can't remember the guy's name, Chris Gardner. In that movie, Will Smith played him. But he had a list of people that he called, and he would mark one off, mark one off, mark one off, mark one off. But he knew his routine. He came in, and that's what he did. Rather than having to come in and then think about what your routine is. What's my routine today? What am I looking at? What are the areas that I want to make a trade in? That's what we go over all the time in, coaching and trading courses, stuff like that. In the trading rooms, obviously we don't have a lot of time, and we're looking for trades ourselves. So, going over stuff, some stuff is good, some stuff there's just not enough time. So, anyway, I know I got off on a little bit of a tangent. Hopefully that did make some sense to you. You got something out of it. 3 points is what we pulled out of the market today. Now, let's talk about a swing trade that we did get into the other day. Excuse me. And that was live cattle futures August. Now, I know we talked about this a couple videos ago about how we missed a trade. Let's talk about that a little bit, because that was down here. We were looking at 148 as a target. We were trying to get in down here. Didn't happen. But it's good to talk about stuff like that, because that's how we learn. That's how I learn. That's how most people in the world learn, is by asking questions. So we tried to get in down here. Didn't happen. Price stayed up, and it actually ended up moving up pretty nicely. It hit 148 and it moved a little higher. So what we were looking at, and this is Monday right here. Monday's candle is what went through 48, and then it did chop around a little bit. Well, Monday after the trade is when we decided to put our order out. So I sent an email out to everybody Monday evening, and I said, okay, let's get in at 147.90 and have a stop at 147.50. That's what these lines are on the chart. If you haven't seen these videos before, so 147.90 is where we got in, and this is Tuesday's open. So Tuesday it opened above 147.90. No fill, no fill. Did move up, and then it moved down, and then it moved down. So we got filled right in here. Stop was still 147.50. 40-cent stop there. And then price, started to move up very haphazardly. But it started to move up. So today, I told everyone, let's take partial profits at 148.60. And right now, as price is moving up, the stop on our remainder is 148.60. So we'll see what happens with that trade. It should be interesting. But I wanted to talk about it. What happens after you miss a trade? What do you do? We talk about that a lot. So we missed this trade. Let me go back and see what day we actually missed it on. It most likely was Wednesday. I'll have to go back and see when I sent out the order. Most likely I sent it out Tuesday night. So we missed it Wednesday, Thursday. No, nothing happened, and price moved up. So, and this order was filled on yesterday. So this order was filled on Tuesday. So about a week went by between missing the trade and getting into the trade. We talk about a lot because new traders view missing a trade like they do losing money on a trade. And that's, psychological. That's not, they look at this or this. This is on an unconscious level. This is how new traders view things. We come to the trading world with our own experiential knowledge in other areas, and we try to apply them to trading. Now, certain things will apply and certain things won't. And certain things will be anti-trading. So they will definitely not apply. But we apply everything because there's really no guidance in trading. You come into trading, brokers don't really have an incentive to teach you anything. Just because there's not enough profit in them. I don't know one broker that has a good educational program. Not one. They have a good basic program because the basics are pretty simple. What to buy, what to sell, what is the futures market, what's the history of it. Stuff like that. That's fairly basic. You could find that stuff on a Wikipedia page. But as far as intricate details, I don't know one out there. I'm not saying there's not one, I just don't know or I've heard of one. I've worked with thousands of students. But I'll never know everything in the world. It's impossible. And that's what we do, as human beings. We kind of gravitate in our little niche area, and we, get further and further and further into that the older we get. Now some of us, we try to stay outside our comfort zone so we can continue to experience the same new things whenever as we grow. But as a societal statistic, most of us just gravitate more into our comfort zone or little niche area. So anyway, this trade, we're risking 40 cents here. Getting back to the trade, we're risking 40 cents. So maximum 2 contracts, that's what we trade. So 40 cents would be 80 cents. We can write that down just to keep it in our minds. 40 cents times 2 contracts equals 80 cents. Right here, we got out 148.60, 147.90. That's 70 cents on our first lot. We have our stop at the same place, so it would be actually 70 cents again if we did get stopped out on that, which would be $1.40, which is not quite a 2-to-1. But I'm looking for the possibility of this breaking 149, and it should be able to go a little bit more. The way it's moved is pretty horrendous. So it has a decent shot at rolling over and stopping us out, and that's why I moved to stop up. I would rather protect profits. Because yeah, 2-to-1's nice, but you can't get that every time. Thinking you can get a 2-to-1 every single time is just stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Getting a high probability trade with a good setup, I think, is the most important. And if you've seen the videos, futures trade setups on the website, you can scroll through them. A lot of our wins are 4-to-1, 5-to-1, 6-to-1, 10-to-1 reward to risk. So if we do get a 2-to-1, or in this case, this what would be like a 1. We'll just call it 1.7 to 1. I don't know, 140. 8 and 8 is 160. So we'll just call it that, just because I don't really feel like doing math in my head right now. So that's a pretty decent trade. It's not the best trade. It's not a great trade. But so far, it's a decent one. And it's one that definitely made us money. Live cattle futures, we're looking at $400 per point. That's supposed to be that's my shorthand. $400 per point. So if we get 1.4, that's not that bad. It's saying that we got into this trade right here on Tuesday, and today is Wednesday. It's definitely not that bad. $400 per point on one trade that we got in. We barely took any heat on it. Not too bad. So anyway, hopefully this video made sense. You got something out of it. You got to see a futures trade. We also, today, I'm not going to talk about it because the video is way too long. I wanted to talk about it. But we also got out of an options trade today. We got out of Priceline. And if you guys follow the market, Priceline had some, I don't know what their earnings were, but they did gap up pretty well today. So we took advantage of that and took profits. We sold some put spreads earlier last week, and today we ended up taking them off. And from what we sold them for to what we bought them back for today, it's a little over like 580% or something like that. So not too bad on that. So we were able to make some decent money there, make some decent money here. Our E-mini trading room so far in August, pretty good. So definitely happy so far. Hopefully the video made some sense to you. You can leave comments below. Any feedback, suggestions, comments, everything is welcome. If you'd like to email me directly, support@abusinesswithtrading.com. Feel free to email. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I was once a new trader, and I'm sure I knew less than all of you watching right now. So if you have a question, ask. No such thing as a dumb question. If you ask me a question I don't know, I'll let you know that I don't know, but I'll figure something out. So that's how I do things. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.